Hello. I am Bradley Overrated. I tried out the Harvestella demo, and before you click away, because I know for a lot of people right now they're kind of sick of the RPGs and the farming simulator type of games, hear me out here. Harvestella, I played through the entire demo, and it's actually quite fun. I really liked it. And I know what you're thinking, but Brad, it's a farming simulator. It's an RPG. On the Nintendo Switch Direct, that's all we got. We just got RPGs and farming simulators. And I understand that. But here's the thing. The thing about Harvestella is it combines both of them, and in my opinion, so far from what I've seen in the demo, it does it really well. So I just wanted to talk about this. I wanted to get this out there because I feel like a lot of people are just going to brush this game off and just write it off and it won't get the attention it probably deserves, because this game has the potential to be pretty dang awesome. So Harvestella appears to be, in fact, a hybrid. It is a blend of RPG gameplay mixed in with, farming simulators. But what I like about this game is the way it handles it and the way it approaches everything. For example, when you select your gender at the beginning of the game, you get to create your character. You can be male or female or non-binary, which was kind of a cool option to see that in games. I thought, hey, that's a plus. And I knew that this game, you can just tell immediately that it had a lot of thought and effort put into the game, because the visuals are really nice on the Nintendo Switch. The graphics look great. The art style is fantastic. It has this cool blend of like Bravely Default mixed in with Final Fantasy, and I just really like the art style in this game. I mean, even from the introduction, the intro screen, the music, just listen to this music and tell me this doesn't sound great. Yeah, that's good stuff, man. I really like the music. And that's not the only song I liked. As I was playing through this game, I was thinking to myself, man, what a great score composition. This is actually a pretty enjoyable game. What hooks me into this game isn't the fact that it's an RPG mixed in with farming simulator stuff. We've seen that before in other games like Rune Factory, for example. Even Stardew Valley does that to a fair extent as well. What I really like about this game is right from the get-go and right from the beginning, it focuses on the story, and that's the key point for Harvestella. It is story driven. You play as a character that ends up in this place that they're unknown with. They don't even know who they are or what their purpose is. Obviously they have the amnesia cliche going on here, but it works really well in the environment and the way it is presented. And then some girl randomly flies in from outer space, and then you have the exact same questions like, who is she and what is she doing here and why is she here? And she claims to be from the future. There's enough enigma in here to keep me intrigued and keep me wanting to progress the story forward, and that's what I like about this game. This game is a well thought out story. It's trying to give us a really cool story, and I always appreciate games that focus on the narrative. And sure, the way the story is presented is a little bit, and people could argue is perhaps too nebulous at times, but I still really like this. And besides, this was only the prologue, chapter 1 and chapter 2 that I had the time to play. And I was able to finish chapter 2 in about 2.5-3 hours of playing through this game. So for what it's worth, I like the story. I like the visuals. I like the presentation. I like my character. I love the simple customization options. There's a lot right from the get-go that I am very impressed by. But, and there has to be a but, I will now talk about the farming simulator parts, because I am certain you're asking yourself, does it do anything to make that stand out? And the answer is no. The farming simulation stuff is fine. It's very simple and straightforward. I mean, once again, you don't actually get into much depth into the farming simulating aspects of this game, and I think part of that is because, like I said, it focuses hard on the story. It really wants you to be gripped into this game because of the story and not so much the other aspects. I will say, though, that I did enjoy the farming simulating. What I was able to do, I was able to plant some carrots, which are basically carrots, and some wheatgrass and some lettuce, whatever you want to call it. I was able to get a few of those. The exchange system is very easy, so for you to collect money, there's just a box that you deliver it in, and that is pretty nice how straightforward it is, which it should be. There's a lot of games that do that now. I would hope this follows suit. But I liked it. It's simple, farming simulating, but it's not, trying to be too complex and take up all your time, because that's the other thing, and I'll get to that in a little bit, is you don't have a lot of time to waste in your day, but suffice it to say, I thought the farming simulation parts were just fine. Nothing special to break the bank, but still enjoyable enough, if that makes any sense. When it comes to the action RPG elements, you run around a field, see an enemy, go up to them, they see you, they come up to you, you attack them, they attack you, and you kill them, collect their stuff. Pretty straightforward, and once again, it seems to be pretty simple, but I think that is secretly because this is just the prologue in the beginning of the game. I looked into it a little bit more. It looks like they're going to have several jobs for your character to try to master. You start off as just a fighter, but there are several blank spaces for jobs for you to conquer, and you can already tell as you're playing through this game that the enemies are definitely going to get harder. The combat system is going to get more complex. It's pretty straightforward and simple for, once again, the prologue in the first 2 chapters, this demo. But I can just tell that there's a lot more time and effort being put into this, and just even when I got towards the end, the enemy started ramping up in difficulty. There was a decent enough boss fight. I like what I am getting from this. I think the action RPG elements are slightly better than the farming elements, and that's okay by me. I would rather be enthralled by combat than by digging holes in the ground. Now, I do have some negatives, 2 negatives that you can take away from this, and the first one is the game does not, at least it didn't that I could tell, explain the saving system very well. The game does not have a manual save until you get to the first dungeon. Now, why that is, I don't know. It might take you an hour, it might take you 2 hours to get to that first dungeon. So do bear that in mind, that if for whatever reason they decided that if you want to be able to manually save your game, you need to get to the dungeon and get to a certain section, and then it will be unlockable. The game does feature an autosave, and the autosave takes place, apparently I found this out on my own and through experimentation, it automatically saves after every day has passed. So you start off on day 1, and once you get to the start of day 2, it autosaves. Once you get to the start of day 3, it autosaves, which is both good and kind of annoying, because if you're in the middle of your day, and you have to quit playing the game for whatever reason, you're going to lose the progress for that day, and that's kind of infuriating. I wish they had the manual save right from the get-go, that you can go to your bedroom and you can have a diary where you can manually save at any time. That would have been very helpful in my opinion. And then the other negative thing about this game, I already mentioned this previously, and that's the tempo of the game. The days go by fast. Just running around, they go in 10-minute increments, and you won't have a lot of time to go out and take your time exploring and trying to find different things. You might spend an entire day's worth just walking around your little home because you don't have very much time, and it will literally take you the whole day to check out your surrounding area. So bear that in mind. There are days I woke up, I'm like, okay, I gotta go fight these monsters over here in this field. I need to go to town, sell these things, buy these products, and then I need to go back home and take care of my farm. And before I knew it, it was 7 o'clock at night, and I'm basically done with the day. The speed in which the days last is a little bit too fast in my opinion. Having said that, I'm hoping that once I will be inevitably buying this game because I enjoyed it enough to say, okay, it's worth $60 and I'm going to be playing it, and I'll get to that here in just a minute. But I do want to say that I'm hoping once I have, my farm established and my bearings down more in the game than what has been given to me, that the days won't feel so rushed. Because right now, with how heavy they push the story and everything that's going, it does feel a little bit rushed. You feel like you're in a hurry to get from point A to point B all the time because you're racing against the clock. Other than those 2 gripes, though, I have to admit, guys, I'm very impressed with Harvestella. This is a well thought out game. They really took their time. They really want to give you something special here. This isn't just a run-of-the-mill hybrid of action RPG mixed in with farming simulator elements. They want to give you a full-fledged story with the option to acquire a bunch of jobs and to do a lot of different things. You can then do the farming elements. You can go visit the town people. It looks like you're going to have side quests. There's a lot here. There's a lot of bang for your buck, and I really like that. On top of that, like I said, the soundtrack is awesome. The visuals look great on the Nintendo Switch. It performs well in handheld. I tested that out, and everything seems to be in order there. Other than the weird saving decisions they had and how rushed I felt at times, I'm impressed. I'm very, very impressed with Harvestella. I think this game, from the 3 hours that I put into the game, I think it is worth the $60 that they are asking for. I was hesitant about that because I just felt like there's enough of these games that I don't know why I would want to spend 60 on a game when I can spend 20 on something like Stardew Valley. But this approach that they are giving right now is working for me. I think Harvestella is going to be a great game, and I am going to buy it day one. And I am just so bummed out that I played the demo so soon, because now I'm going to have to wait a couple months until November until I can finally play the game again. And then I got to try to remember how to play the game again because it'll be 2 months. But I'm impressed is what I'm trying to get by. Don't sleep on this game. I think you should give it a chance. Like I said, I think so far I've been very impressed. I had a ton of fun playing it. I can't wait to jump back in. And I hope this gives you guys a better idea of what this game is all about. At this time, I just want to say thank you so much for taking the time to watch this. Have you played the demo? What do you think of it? Did you like it? Did you not like it? And do you have any questions for me before you go into playing this game? I'm more than happy to answer them for you. I will be checking the comments in case anybody does. But all the same, guys, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this. I am Bradley Overrated, out like a trout, and I wish it was November. I am that excited to play this game again. It was fun. It hooked me in after I tried the demo. So, just my take. Have a good one.